Hello, my name is Lamin Bisware, English 1001, class number 27. Doing a screencast video on level 2 content mission 1. That is to watch any video on YouTube or show related to a content area, write a summary and react to it. So I already wrote a summary about a YouTube video that I watched, and it has to do with the content area food security, and this is my reaction piece to it. Okay. So few things that jumped at me when I was watching that video are some of the things that I just put down here, so you can see what my reactions are, what I'm reacting to. So the rising food cost is something that really caught my attention, and I'm mostly in agreement with the concerns raised in that video. And so my reaction to that is, the way the world food cost is going up, it is posing a lot of issues, especially in the developing countries, because more and more people are plunging into poverty because they have to spend most of their, little earnings into buying food or putting food on the table, for their families, for their children, for their wives, etc. So that is something that I think the world, has to tackle. And I will get to the solution probably at the end of this presentation. But right now, let me go right to the next step, and that is just to give an idea, it's about 870 people who are hungry every day. That is a staggering number. 870 million people. That means over 2 times the population of the United States are chronically hungry every day. So obviously this is food is something that is a common denominator for just about everybody, period. It doesn't matter how rich you are or how poor you are, you need food to survive. However, food security is not something that, we all feel the same about, because people who have the means, they don't think about food. But the people who don't, have the means, when they eat breakfast, they are worried about where the lunch is going to come from. When they are looking to eat lunch, they're probably thinking about not even dinner, but like, am I going to get something to eat the next day? So this is something that I think for someone who have seen some of these things firsthand, especially in the developing countries, it is something that I think I have a different perspective about it, I think, so to speak. And the other challenges that I want to react to is the population increase. It is estimated that the world population right now is at 7 billion. And by 2040, it's estimated the world population will increase to 9 billion. As you know, the size of the earth is not going to increase, it's going to be the same. And you have 2 billion more people to feed. And meanwhile, the farming population is aging. Less and less young people are going into farming. So that means that the population to farmer ratio is staggering high. So the world has to definitely put some kind of plans together, to combat this issue before it gets to a point where it can lead to world crisis in terms of financially, but it can also lead into instability around the globe. I mean, without food, I mean, that's the first thing we worry about first: food, shelter, and things like that. So the next point here that I want to react to is the food wastage. So it is estimated that almost half of the food produce, very close to that, are wasted every year. That can feed over 2 billion people based on available statistics, and that is a lot of people. And some of these wastages has to do with lack of infrastructure in the developing countries, sometimes from the side of production before it even gets to the consumers. Food is wasted. So I think that is an issue. And in the developed world, many a times people have excess of food and preservation, even though the infrastructure is available, a lot of people just rather throw some of those food away. So we throw a lot of food away, especially in the restaurants, even in our own homes. And my reaction to that is, I think that is something that we can do better as a community. What do we need to do about all these problems? Some of the things that we need to do is to impart knowledge. The developing countries probably should, make sure that they export some of their knowledge about commercial agriculture to other parts of the world, to encourage rural entrepreneurship, things like that, to provide investment, help them innovate and diversify their production. They don't have to only produce, let's say, for example, rice or wheat and that kind of thing. So I think if the world can come together and recognize this as like a common problem and understand that this is our shared responsibility, I think it is going to do wonders for the entire world. Not just for the developing country, but even for the developed country. It will mean less aid coming from the United States and other European countries or other developed countries to developing countries. And in conclusion, I think it is important to recognize that since we all know, can at least relate to how we feel when we feel hungry, then that makes this our problem, all of us. So together we can make a lot of difference, and hopefully together we all see this as like a shared passion that we can all do something about. Thank you for listening.